Hi everyone, so it is day 15 of Vlogmas, and I'm just gonna let you guys look at these pictures of dandelions I took, what, a couple years ago now, while I talk. So I did not realize, or I think maybe I misunderstood about the publishing company, I guess you would call it, that I had sent my book to. It's a children's book called Grayson Tabs in His Box of Imagination, and it's about a cat who shows his friend all the cool things you can do with just a box in your imagination. I was on Instagram like I am right now, and I just seen an ad for them, and I thought, why not? I'll try it out. And I guess I misread some things because they are a hybrid publisher, which means if they choose your book, they will publish it, but you have to pay for a lot of things. So I guess it's not technically a vanity press or a scam because you know up front, but at the same time, I've been hearing some things that, authors are paying for more than they thought they were going to. Um, I read somewhere that somebody was paying like $7,000 to get things done, and that shouldn't be. And the thing about it is, if you want to do a hybrid publishing thing, that's up to you. That's your choice and everything. Some people can do it. Some people might like that option. But I just feel like if your book has to be, like, approved by them, like a normal publisher and everything, you really shouldn't be paying $7,000 to do something. Because marketing and all that other stuff, the promotions, probably the editing, the book covers. I'm sure they pay for some things because it's hybrid, so it's like between like traditional and self-publishing. And again, if you have the means to do that, that's fine. But I don't know. I don't think you should be too picky if you're gonna make the author do a lot more of the work than a traditional publisher would do. Or, I mean, even in traditional publishing, authors have a lot of work to do. What I mean is that they don't like normally pay for it, right? A lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but some of them give advances against royalty, and you don't get that back until your book sells, the money and everything. So you don't make any more money after your advance until the royalties and everything, pay that back. Um, Me going through Amazon KDP and the other things like Drafted Digital and stuff, a lot of that I don't pay for any of that, but when my book sells a copy, they take a percentage out, right? So, a lot of times I hear when they're talking about book scams and stuff is that, you don't pay publishers, they pay you. And again, there are services that you do pay for, especially when you're indie, if you want them like professionally done. But that's at your choice, right? Um, if you're an independent author, you're seeking out illustrators or editors and stuff on your own. So you're not entering into a contract from a publisher saying that you're going to pay for that kind of thing. And I don't have the means to do those kind of things. When I do my indie books, which are all my books that I've published, which is not many at all, everything is pretty much done by me. So when I first started publishing on CreateSpace, which is now KDP, I used their photos. I guess you would call them stock photos and stuff. They have them for authors to pick from to use on their books. The covers that you're allowed to use. When I was first starting out, I used some of those, and then I moved to trying to upload and format on there my own pictures because I wanted my own stuff on there. Like the writing's all mine. I wanted the covers to be mine. So, yeah, my first book that I published under S.E. Dickinson, my first poetry book, Only Children Dream, has one of those photos. Before that, I was going under a different name, and the book Only Children Dream was like split up into two different books before I put them all together and made that one. One was one of the pictures that they had I used, and the other one was actually something I made on that little paint thing that you like have on your computer and stuff. I made like these little stick figure kind of things. But then later on, I decided to put all the poems together and just make it into one book. And I used just the picture that they had that I thought went with it. But then when I published my first short story collection, which is called Another World Called Ours, I used a picture that I had took. Where did I take that one? Oh, I had taken it at Minnehaha Falls in Minnesota. So that's what that picture is. I thought it went well with what the theme of the book was in so many ways. And then later on, I had published, what did I publish after that? Trying to think. Oh, you know what? I think then I had published, a few years later, my second poetry book, which is called, what is the story? What is the title of my dang book? Oh my god. Oh, The Silly Things We Talked About. I don't know why I drew a blank on there, but I did. Sorry, guys. Yeah, The Silly Things We Talked About. And again, that is a picture from Minnesota. Somewhere we were driving to at night. It was winter time. Or, it was just like becoming night. And I just thought that would just look really pretty and peaceful. And then I Don't Know These Shadows, which is my second short story collection, which focuses a little bit more on horror, whereas my first one was like a mix of like fantasy-ish and some spooky stuff. That one, I Don't Know These Shadows, was literally a tree in like my aunt and uncle's yard. Actually, I think it might have been coming from the neighbor's yard, but like the branch is coming over, and it was like really gray out, and like I didn't even do anything to the picture, but it looks almost kind of black and whitish, but not quite. Like it really looks dark, and I just thought that made like a really cool cover for like a horror short story collection. Has like a spookiness to it. So, yeah, a lot of the covers now I do myself. Editing, I comb through things. There's probably some things I've missed, but I'm not able to afford a professional editor, so I go through it myself, and I have some other people who, help me out going over it to see if I made any mistakes and everything. The last cover my son actually designed for Jackalope Fangs, which is going to be the beginning of a new horror, I guess, mystery, spooky-ish series that I'm doing. So, yeah. I kind of figured if I'm going to be paying for anything, I don't want to be under any contracts. You know, if I seek out a professional in anything, be it editing or illustrations or covers, that's going to be of my choosing. And, I guess we'll figure out things from there. So it's nice that somebody wants my book or is interested in it, but I kind of want like a regular publisher. Other than that, I think I'm going to stick with doing the indie stuff. I am trying to decide what project I want to stick with, because I have so many, and I know I need to focus on one of them at least. I really want to get writing more on my fantasy novel, but there's just so much research that is going to be going into that for various reasons. I'm mainly working on my chapbook right now, but a lot of the things that I need for that is, I don't know, I have to dig out some stuff because I want to have pictures with it and stuff, so it's like I'm trying to find all my art supplies and my paints and all that other stuff, and I'm experimenting with, colors and, what I can do with this kind of paint and that kind of paint, because I don't really paint, but I wanted to get into more artistic things. So, other than that, the chapbook is coming along pretty good. At least the writing part is. As for my other books, like I said, I'm going to be working on the fantasy novel, but I don't know if I should write some more children's books. I have a few ideas for those. Or focus on one of my middle grade story ideas. I think maybe I'll do that while I'm doing more research for that story. I think I'm going to focus on my one middle grade story that has to do with the girls that have flower names and this tea party and stuff. I think I'll focus on that one for right now. I'm thinking of like doing chapters with different characters. It's not going to be a very long book. Again, it's going to be a middle grade book. Nothing fantasy. More like a family, realistic fiction kind of thing. So, yeah, that's going on. That's what's going on in my writer life right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know some of your favorite fantasy and middle grade books. Do you like poetry? Have you ever read a chapbook? Do you like small poetry books? Let's just talk about books, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.